What's up YouTube, Leon here, and 2020 has been awful. I'm not here to discuss the terrible things in life, but when I get home from a stressful day of work, kick back and relax, I do what no good Christian kid would ever think of doing. And that's playing some video games, but what if we were to combine lewd things with games? We usually end up with some not so great games, but of course there are some that break the mold. Here are 4 lewd games on Steam that are actually pretty good games. The first one on this list is an RPG Maker game. Alright, okay. Before you close the video and dismiss my opinion, let me try to explain myself. The dungeon of Lulu Freya presents itself in typical RPG fashion. There is a legendary dungeon that adventurers from around the world try to conquer. Be it for fame or fortune, this dungeon is connected to the demon world. Our main character, Clarice, is in it for one thing: the monster girls. While the story itself isn't anything special, the gameplay is where its unique charms pull you in. Unlike typical turn-based battles, each battle has a guaranteed outcome. If you fight a slime and it does 57 damage, it'll always do 57 damage. You also can't level your character through fights. Instead, you get stronger with stat potions. These potions and various healing items are not only limited, but placed in specific areas of each map. Instead of the game being a traditional RPG, the game more resembles a puzzle game instead. It's all about picking the correct route to lose as little resources as possible. And of course, if you don't really care about the gameplay, the devs give you a little cheat room just to get to the good parts. While I don't want to spoil everything about the game and its mechanics, another great thing about it is its characters. Each one of the game's main adversaries are as charming as ever. From slimes to zombies and the like, each one has a unique personality to suit a variety of tastes. You'll at least like one of them, if not all of them. Unique puzzle gameplay with a lighthearted comedic tone and some great writing, the Dungeon of Lulu Freya is on Steam for around $13. This game is a wave-based third-person shooter set in a small, mysterious city. The overall solid, if at times stiff gameplay, is charming in its own sense. Aiming and shooting are fine, while the movement could use a little fine-tuning. But the kind of enemies you fight, well, let me just show you. Whether you find these types of enemies scary, creepy, or funny, this really sets the overall atmosphere and tone of the game. Outside of the wave-based combat is a town you can freely explore, with or without enemies. And this is where I feel the game really shines. Exploring an empty and desolate town, trying to find the perfect hiding spot, or uncovering something unexpected. From finding hidden codes, or even a secret area, Eliminator Kai has a lot to offer, if you look for it. There's also an extra mode, a pretty straightforward trials mode where you shoot all the balloons in an obstacle course. These can range from a nice walk in the park, to frustrating and not really that fun. Probably not the best mode in this game. Solid third-person shooting with a town worth exploring. Eliminator Kai can be bought on Steam for around $25.
Number 3.
Our third game on this list is an early access action game. A game that wears its inspirations on its sleeve. So this one is an odd one on this list. First of all, it's expensive. And second, it's early access. You know, I really should stop buying these things in early access. Really, the main thing to take away from this is the potential. Mahou Arms has some great feeling gameplay. As someone who enjoys character action games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, could see how fun this game can be. But it's not done yet. It also doesn't have enough content to justify that price tag. But what does give me hope for the future is its foundation. Controls are tight and responsive, character switching is quick and doesn't interrupt the flow of combat, and there's enough moves to experiment with to create cool looking combos. The UI and story presentation is slick and stylish. The proof of concept is there. It just needs a full game to come with it. An early access game with potential. Mahou Arms is a whopping $30 on Steam. You should probably wait. You remember when I said RPG Maker and early access? Well, Princess and Conquest is just that. But before you say the game sucks or something like that, let me tell you this. This game is pretty damn special. So first thing out of the way, just ignore the early access tag for a moment. We don't want this to taint the actual quality of the game. So how does Princess and Conquest differentiate itself from other RPG Maker titles? Let me just list a few. It has a night and day cycle, real-time battles, and a world that continues to function with or without player input. This is the most compelling thing about Princess and Conquest that makes it so interesting. Factions will wage war on each other, and you can choose to pick a side or just completely ignore it. Especially when you compare it to games that are considered to have living and breathing worlds. Outside of the world mechanic, it's just doing your own thing. You're left to pursue any faction's questline. As of right now, there are 15 factions, with 5 more on the way. I'm not sure how many of these questlines are fully fleshed out, but there is still a chunky amount of game on offer. You could also accept quests from Knights Inc. to gain money and affinity with said factions, or you could just explore the game world. There are plenty of times where just exploring giving you unique scenes or quests. It's just surprising to see this type of game where there's so much to learn and find out about. No, honestly, the only thing holding back this game is its engine. RPG Maker is a neat tool for specific things, but this game and its ideas are too much for this little engine. A game that surprised me. Princess and Conquest is $15 on Steam. So those were 4 Lewd games on Steam that I feel are pretty decent games. If you guys have any other games that fit the criteria, be it a full game, early access game, or whatever, put them in the comments below. I want to see what other hidden gems you guys could find or have already found on Steam. Also, I just want to say, times have been real tough for everybody. I hope everyone's doing okay, and stay safe. This is Leon from Humans Plays, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.